Hello and welcome to Toy Polloi 2, and I have a couple of packages that have arrived this week and it's time to get them open and see what's been sent in. The top one is from Graham at the Next 17 and the bottom one is from Bob, who is a Patreon of mine. I've got myself a cup of tea, so let's get on, open these boxes and see what's inside. So this package is from Graham at the Next 17. He makes all of the really cool figures and I've been reviewing them over the last few years, and he said that he had a few more to send over for me to take a look at and to review. So let's open this up and see what is inside. Well, there is a note which is, "Hi Dave, thanks once more for offering to review my weird little figures. Included you will find half Vader in black back to tank, a suspension rig for him, a suspension rig for Luke, Marvel Yoda, Willrow hood and the Bespin maintenance text albino." There's a whole load more of notes on there, so that will be stuff that I can read when I come to do the full review. But let's take a look at these. So we've got some new figures. I've been keeping a track on what Graham is doing, and I saw that he had done Willrow hood, which is quite an interesting figure. He's one of the sort of background characters that you see on Bespin. I think he's best known for carrying the ice cream maker. I can see we have a Yoda here and some more backplates, so let's take a closer look at these. So let's start with Willrow hood, because yeah, he's a figure I've been excited to see. So he comes in a nice sort of orange jumpsuit. I can see he has his ice cream maker there as well, which does look particularly cool. So I'm guessing this is an all new figure. Doesn't look like there's any parts from any of the previous figures, or maybe the body is the ground technician that I've reviewed previously. Not sure on that one, I'll have to check, but you can see he does come with a rather cool little ice cream maker, which I would hope will fit in his hands. That is really nice indeed. So yeah, that is Willrow hood, as you see in the background very briefly on Bespin. And then it said there was another version of him called Albino. He's just a sort of, what does it say here? Bespin maintenance tech. So I'm guessing this uses the same body and he has a slightly different sculpt on his head. But yeah, he is an albino version there. Nice sort of white hair and black eyes. And again, he comes with the little ice cream maker. Those are really cool. I think that's a really nice addition to the sort of Star Wars line, and they will look excellent on display with the rest of the figures that I've got. Those are particularly cool. Then he said there was, yeah, the Marvel version of Yoda. So if you've got the Marvel comics, this is the version that you see of Yoda in there. It's completely different to what you see in the movies. He's sort of blue with white hair and very pointy ears. Comes with a similar looking snake around his neck and a similar sort of cane there. That is really nice indeed. Can I actually take this out? I can, look at that. I wasn't sure whether I could actually open that so we can take a closer look at him. That is a particularly cool figure. So I'm guessing it's a sort of similar body to the original Yoda, but we've got this very different looking head and very different looking paint, we've got a sort of application to him. The bright blue is very striking indeed. And he comes with an extra little snake as well. That is very nice. I like the fact that we've got a backing card here. And he said that all the details about Yoda are on the back of it. I will give that a read later. And then we also have some other sort of backboards that Graham produces. These are pretty cool for sort of putting behind your figures to display them. So those would look particularly good behind the Willrow hood there. They look a little bit like Bespin. Oh look, they are indeed. We can see there we've got the Millennium Falcon, so you could have those a couple of ways round to make a nice backdrop. And the card that comes with it as well shows all of the figures that Graham has produced. So I reckon the body of Willrow hood might be the same as this one, so 120, which is the Rebel ground crew. It certainly looks like it's a similar thing, and I know Graham reuses parts and pieces to make all of his figures. So that looks fairly similar. I'll have to double check the other figures that I've got. Maybe the boots are slightly different, but nonetheless, a very cool figure. And then he said there was the half Vader. So here we have a half Vader indeed. Look, he's missing his arms and his legs, but we all know there is only one half Vader. I'm not sure this is the right one.
Apology accepted.
But he still looks pretty cool. So let's get this put together. So this goes into there. It's a pretty tight fit. And then we have this, which is the harness which holds that figure up. And there was a duplicate harness there for Luke Skywalker. If you saw the Bespin version of Luke that I've reviewed previously, that needed something like this as well, because you wanted the figure to sort of hang in the back to tank. And this looks like that's what it's for. So those, I'm guessing, will clip onto there. That's a nice simple design. So they will hook under his arms. Oh yeah, that's cool. And then we have this mask here, which I'm guessing needs to go around his head Oh yeah, it's going to be quite awkward to get on. Let me thread those pieces through just a little bit. And then we can put that over his head. So he's got a breathing apparatus on. That is pretty cool. I like that. We can hook that onto there. And then that, I guess, sits in there. And we put the top on. Oh yeah, that is pretty cool. So we've got half Vader sort of hanging there in his Bacta tank. That is a really nice figure. So there's some new figures there from the Next 17. I will review all of these properly over on Toy Polloi in the coming weeks. But for now, if you want to grab some of these for yourself, head on over to the Next 17's website. I will put a link to that in the description. This package is from Bob in the US. Now, Bob is a patron of mine, so first up I need to say a massive thank you for Bob for supporting me with what I do here on Toy Polloi and Toy Polloi 2. It does make a massive difference. He got in touch with me after a recent video where I showed fixing up some Space 1999 figures from the Mattel's Eagle, to say that he had some of the parts that I was missing. So hopefully there's bits for the Eagle in here, and I might actually be able to get on with that project. There's still quite a few pieces I'm missing, but Bob sent me a photo of what he got, and I think this covers all of those pieces. So let's open this box up and see what's inside. So there is a note. It says, Dave, I hope these parts can be of use. The Mattel Eagle has been my favourite toy since I first received it for Christmas back in 1977. Thanks for all the tips and techniques you have shared. They've really helped with my collection. Bob. Well, Bob, thank you ever so much. That's only a nice note. Let's take a look and see what is in here. Well, there's lots of bubble wrap and there's lots of pieces. So let's tip this out and we can start going through them. So these are bits for the Space 1999 Eagle from Mattel. It's a toy I very rarely see here in the UK, so finding parts has actually proved pretty hard work. And this is one of the key pieces that I was missing. This is the sort of rear mounting for the engine. So this is all the sort of the jet propulsion bit at the back of it. And without that, you can't attach any of the rear jet. So that is a very key piece, and one that I was missing and just hadn't been able to find. I found someone who 3D printed it, but I was really trying to go sort of all original on this. And here we have some of the jets. So these are the jets that I think clip into the back of this and sort of finish off the end of the Eagle. So that already is amazing. That's a big part of what I needed. We then have some feet. So this is the sort of landing feet for the Eagle. There's 3 of those there, which I believe I'm missing a couple, so that's cool. What do we have in here? This is a tiny little bag, this one. I think this might be a chair, and I'm definitely missing chairs. It's one of those sort of sets that just has loads and loads of pieces to it, and I'm missing so much from it. So that's one of the little chairs that the orange figures that I've recently sort of fixed up over on Toy Polloi. That's one of those can sit in that, so that is pretty cool. And what have we got in here? More feet by the looks of it. All right, so these are some of the larger feet. So these ones must go for the central pod of the Eagle, and these feet will be for the sort of the main landing sort of sections of the Eagle. Yeah, there's much bigger than the other ones. Those are cool as well. Yeah, definitely pieces I needed. And in here, I think this is one of the side doors, which is again another thing I needed. I have one side door, but the set needs 2. Ooh, maybe there's even 2 of these. Look at that, there's 2. One of them has been painted and one is original. So that one looks like it's been spray painted. I can see the remnants of spray paint on there, and that is an original with some stickers on it. Bob, this is absolutely amazing. All of these pieces are bits that I need for that project. Oh, look, there's one little extra one I missed. What is in this one? Ah, right. I think this is a winch and a sort of panel section. Oh no, there's more pieces in here. We've got all sorts of pieces. So these look like the little jet pieces that go on the side. All the sort of bit damaged, there's some of them missing, but from those I should be able to make something to replace them. All a bit chewed up, but yeah, those I need. And then that is one of the window pieces that goes on the central pod. I don't have any of those, and I was wondering how I could remake them, but now that I've got one, that is really going to help. All of these things, if you've got one piece, you can then sort of recreate other bits from it. So that is absolutely fantastic. Bob, this is amazing. Thank you so much for sending all these pieces over. They are really going to help, and I think I've possibly got all the bits I need now to get my Eagle back up and running. So you will be seeing that hopefully soon over on Toy Polloi. So that is it for today's unboxing. Just 2 boxes, but some really cool pieces inside. Massive thank you to Graham from the Next 17 for sending over these new figures. I will be reviewing those shortly over on Toy Polloi. They do look really cool. If you want to grab some for yourself, then head on over to the next17.com. And a big thank you to Bob as well. this, I think, has given me all the pieces I need so that I can get on and start working on the Mattel Space 1999 Eagle. I've been so looking forward to that project, but finding parts has taken me quite a while, so I'm really excited to actually be able to get started on that. It's going to be a real fun project, so look out for that over on Toy Polloi as well. If you've enjoyed this video, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell to be notified each time I upload a new video. And if you've really enjoyed it, then why not head on over to my main channel, Toy Polloi, and subscribe there as well. And thanks for watching.